and come to here in Tampa?
We lost some close ball games earlier in the year, and it was a great learning experience for us. And I'm just proud of the way the guys kept working, and they never wavered. They believed in what it is we were doing, and they consistently got better each and every single week. And hopefully, we can see those same improvements in the bowl game.
As you've had a chance now to study Northwestern, what has really stood out to you and impressed you about their offensive unit?
Their commitment to run the ball. They're big up front. They've got some good running backs back there. They've got two quarterbacks that they've played, and both are a little bit different. But they're really well coached. They're disciplined. They don't have a lot of penalties. They don't do things to hurt themselves, and they're going to be really good on offense.
When you started the year and you had the uncertainty at the middle linebacker spot, to get to the point where you are now, feeling so comfortable with Darren out there, how far have you come and how impressed have you been?
I'm really proud and pleased with Darren and the fact that he takes such great pride in not only knowing the middle linebacker position, but he's trying to learn the will, what the safeties are doing, where's the defensive end fitting on all these plays, and just has a real hunger for the knowledge of not only his position but the entire defense, and that's what you need. And he has made great progress right from day one, and he takes great pride in being the middle linebacker. It's a badge of honor, and he's really vocal and doing a great job, and he's only going to get better.
Coach, talk about conditioning is so important, especially when you're down here in a week like this when it's so warm and so hot out there. Talk about your team and how ready they are from that standpoint, getting ready for this game.
Yeah, well, my approach with the guys is, hey, we need to push ourselves in practice, especially early when you get down here, and then obviously you've got to taper off and let them get their legs back and all that. But my emphasis is we can't control the weather, we can't control the humidity. It's the same for both teams, so let's do what we need to do to prepare and then go out and play.
You think the players have enjoyed practicing in the warm weather?
Yes, they have. I know several of them have said that they want to move to Tampa. So, yeah.
You want to move with them?
No, I do not. I want to stay in Knoxville.
John, when you guys have played a ton on nickel this year with a power run team, how comfortable are you with a three linebacker set, which you haven't played a lot of, if you have to play that way?
We're gonna have the ability to do both. I'm comfortable with the three linebacker, base personnel grouping. It's all going to be based a lot too on what they're doing. It's almost like a first game. You have so much time in preparation for a bowl. It's really like another first game of the year because they can change things, they can do different things. There's a whole season that you pull plays from as a coach, as a defensive coach. It kind of can drive you crazy. But you have to gonna have to adjust again on game day, and I'm really pleased with our guys' ability to do that. I mean, when they come to the sideline, we can say, hey, here's what they're doing, here's what we want to do, and make the adjustments. And I think that's why you don't see the consistent plays continuing to hurt us. You get hurt on a play here, hurt on a route concept there. We've always been able to fix it, and I'm just real proud of our guys and of our coaches for seeing it, recognizing it, and then us being able to correct it with the players.
John, how long do you think it took you to be able to overcome Kurt Majette's loss? Was it a few games before you felt like comfortable with what your defense is doing without him?
I don't know if you ever get totally comfortable with it, Jimmy, but Kurt has been there for his teammates the entire time, and that to me is huge. I mean, I'm out here today. He's coaching those guys. He's coaching them in drills. He's coaching them when we're going, against the offense, against our scout teams. I mean, he's been an incredible spirit for those guys, and I know that they respect him, they listen to him, and Kurt's got a lot of influence, and a lot of power, and in terms of his play, boy, we certainly missed that, but he has been there for his teammates the entire season, and I'm just real proud of him and what he's been able to mean to all of his teammates.
John mentioned the two quarterbacks. What impressed you about each of them, basically, and how difficult is that going to be?
I think they do a good job of knowing where to go with the football. I think they make good decisions in terms of pulling it down and running it if things aren't looking good, in the back end. They're really well coached. They really have some good thoughts in terms of their schemes. They play to the strengths of their teams. They run the ball. They play good defense. And, they're just not a team that beats themselves. And the quarterbacks are a great example of that. They know where to go with the ball. They make good decisions, and they keep the chains moving.
John, you mentioned, backing off, getting your legs back. How do you know when you've been physical enough.
They did that hurt us. We were able to get it corrected, but we gave up a touchdown on one of those plays. That's one, and there's a couple here and there. Some concepts that are challenging. If you're in certain calls, and I think that's the thing that I really respect about Northwestern is that they have all the beaters versus all the coverages, and they know how to get into those. So we got to do a great job with disguise and be able to possibly change some things ourselves.
I think Butch said that you guys like to have the game plan installed before you break for Christmas. So this week,
I know, yeah.
Are you trying not to pour over it too much and tweak it too much and just go?
Well, yeah, you get it in when you're there, and then they go on that Christmas break, and then as a coach, you're worried about did they forget it? You know what I mean? So you come back and you hit all those things. But coach is exactly right. We put it in. We covered everything before we left. From Knoxville, and now we're just really touching some things here and there and going back and reviewing some things that maybe we think that they would want to do. That's the life of a defensive coach. We have to react to what they do. We have to be prepared to make adjustments. We have to be prepared at a lot of different levels. I mean, I can't tell you how many times this year teams changed what they were doing against us. We break the film down, and we have all these tendencies, and we're like, they're going to do this, 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 and this, and we're going to do this, and they come out and run it maybe one or two times, and so it's been a lot of fun because our guys have been able to adjust. You got smart guys, that helps.
You mentioned that Northwestern, they don't beat themselves, but they also don't score a lot of points either.
Right.
Do you think is their offense a little bit conservative? Is their scheme conservative? Is that fair to say?
I would say that is fair to say. Coach Fitzgerald does a great job. He's a defensive guy, play great defense. Don't do anything to, put yourself in a bad situation on offense. Don't turn the ball over. Hey, don't be afraid to punt it away if you don't get the first down. They are very patient, I will say, Jimmy, in terms of running the ball. They're very patient. They're very committed, to running the ball. So if we can get them one-dimensional and get them out of that thought process, I think that plays obviously to a big advantage for us. So to answer your question, yeah, I see them being very patient and methodical.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, John.
I really never compare defenses because all personnel is different, schemes are different, so I really don't compare them. I just can tell you what I see on film, and that is that they're very well coached. That this defensive staff's been together a long time, and they've got a system, and it's a very good system. When you start taking advantage of something, then they'll have something to take that away. So they make you adjust, and again, they've got very good personnel too. They play hard, and it's a very good defense. That's why they're ranked so highly.
Some guys have talked about how good Quentin is during bowl prep, and even down here, Josh Smith was talking about it yesterday. What have you seen out of Quentin? What do you like about Quentin?
I just like what he brings every day. I like his consistency in the meeting room and the practice field and his play, and he really what I like too. He's a competitor. If he doesn't make a throw or it's not right where he wants to put it, I mean, he's mad at himself. I love that about him. So I've been pleased with everything he's done.
Coach Jancek was talking about how on a bowl game it's almost like a first. The concern maybe, Levin, on your part to get the offense in a rhythm after having been laid off for so long?
Well, I think that we will be in a rhythm. I expect our guys to be ready to go on game day. And, the thing that you never know is the surprises. I mean, we've had a lot of practices. They've had a lot of practices. What little wrinkles will they show and that we haven't seen? And, there's defenses where you see a couple of these, and that's it for the whole season. Well, are they going to come in and play a lot of that? I mean, so it's just like what John said. It just, we're going to have to be ready to make adjustments like we've done the entire year.
Yeah, talk about the physical nature of this Northwestern defense.
Very physical. Starts up front. All four guys are very physical. I think they play with great leverage. Their pad level is down. They use their hands very well. And then their linebackers, they run very well. Their defensive backs, I think, are really good. Their safeties, they really have them run support hard in what they play cover for. So they're downhill guys a lot. And so I think, it's a very good defense.
So often it comes.
Jawan and Preston, those guys healthy again. Just from the end of the season, receiver depth wasn't necessarily there.
Well, just mention that you know, we can actually at practice we don't have to slow down now because we got so much depth out there with those guys getting back and being healthy. So it's just enabled us to really work on the passing game even more so. So it's been a big plus.
So often when in a bowl game it comes down to motivation, and what have you seen from that aspect, spirited-wise, you know, your guys leading up to this week and this week so far here in Tampa?
Well, the one thing I liked about our football team is that every week they bring it. And, you know, I've really enjoyed that and appreciated that about them. And so I don't see where this would be any exception.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.